Hey guys, welcome back. My name is Bailey, and today I'm going to be running through my thoughts on acrylic yarns for projects, how they wash, and then I'm going to compare the three most popular acrylic yarns. So I love this yarn, Joann's Big Twist, and then Red Heart Super Saver, and then make a swatch with them and tell you which one's my favorite or what the yarns need to improve on for me to continue crocheting with them, and just my general thoughts about what I'm thinking and will I work with these yarns. So let's dive in. First on the list today, we're going to talk about affordability when it comes to working with acrylic yarns. Acrylic yarn is a more budget-friendly yarn. When you're buying a budget-friendly yarn, you expect to get a little less high quality. So like, for example, Red Heart Super Saver is like $4. So when I buy Red Heart Super Saver, I expect to get a lower quality yarn, unlike natural fibers like wool. Next, we're going to talk about the care needed for acrylic yarns. So unlike most yarns like wool or like polyester, you have to wash it a certain way. But with most acrylics, I found that you can machine wash them and lay them out to dry. So that makes it really helpful when you're making like kids' clothes or blankets, because like what we talked about before, it's very affordable. And when you have that, like it's able to put in the washing machine, it makes it easy to care for. And it's just helpful when you're crocheting something big and you want it to be cheap. Now that I talked about some of the good, we're gonna go into a little bit of the bad that I've seen with acrylic yarns. So with acrylic yarns, they tend to pill really easily, and sometimes it's peace of mind for me as a crocheter and knitter when my projects aren't pilling and fraying. It makes it feel like it's just not as like, it's not gonna hold up. So I could see why like some people don't grab for acrylic yarn. I tend to go for the like non-pill acrylic yarns when I'm working on something I need to sell, or when I'm working on something that I want to last and look nice, and more when I want it to look more expensive than it is, I reach for the non-pill yarns. I know Hobby Lobby sells a couple of good non-pill yarns, Lion brand, some really great ones. So if you're looking for a yarn that isn't pilling, but you still want to go with a pretty cheap yarn, go for the non-pill ones. Like stuff like the Red Heart Super Saver right here, pills when you just rub it. Like there's so many like fluffs on here and stuff. And I actually seen people like putting a lighter up to their acrylic yarns. I have not tried that. I'm not going to try that. But I've seen some people saying it gets rid of the fluffs. I'm not gonna do that to my yarn. I just can't do that. But if you've tried that, if you've ever tried that, leave a comment down below and tell me how it went. Acrylic yarn is considered environmentally friendly when it comes to yarn because it's not a plant-based fiber, it's not like natural fiber, it's synthetic. So people consider it more environment friendly. I'm not sure what my thoughts are on that, but I just thought I would put that out there as another perk to go for acrylic yarn. I don't know. What is your stance on that? Again, leave it down in the comments below. Tell me your thoughts. Tell me if I'm missing anything as well with acrylic yarn. Like if you think of more pros or cons or something I should look out for with acrylic yarns, let me know. Just leave comments. Leave a whole ton of comments. And now the last one on my list is a lot of people have like wool allergies and stuff like that. So acrylic yarn, no one's really allergic to acrylic yarn because it's a synthetic fiber. So being like, if you're allergic to wool and you just want to make a sweater so bad, go for like acrylic yarns because you most likely won't be allergic to that fiber. I know a couple of people that were allergic to wool yarns. I watch a couple people who are allergic to wool yarns and they go for acrylics or cottons and stuff like that. So if I was allergic to wool, I would definitely jump for acrylic first because it's a breathable fiber as well if you choose the right stitching and stuff. It's also good for people with sensitive skin. So if you have really sensitive skin to natural fibers or itchiness, if you get a acrylic yarn like I love this yarn, it's really soft and won't irritate your skin as easily as natural fibers will. So now I'm going to swatch up just a little like half double crochet swatch with each of these beautiful yarns here. I have Big Twist by Joann's, Red Heart Super Saver, and I love this yarn. So I'm going to show you me swatching up just little swatches. I'm going to show you the comparison and which I think the best is. So let's get into it. All right, I'm going to start off with the I love this yarn, and I got these all at a pretty decent price. I did get them from my thrift store, so they are probably older and the price is probably not relevant anymore, but it is 100% acrylic. It recommends a 5.5. I'm going to use a 4.5 today, and it's in the colorway gray black. So in case you wanted to get this yarn, you know what the color is. I'm just going to try and find the center pull. Oh, there it is. That's always helpful when the center pull is already ready to go. So I'm just going to crochet up a tiny swatch and tell you what I think about it as far as like how easy it is to crochet with and how soft it is. If it squeaks over my crochet hook, because that is like, I do not like that. When it's very squeaky, it really bothers me. And there's my swatch with the I love this yarn. I probably should have chose a lighter yarn because it was a little hard to see the stitches because it's black, but I can't fault the yarn for that because we all need different color yarns. So next I'm gonna swatch up with Big Twist by Joann's. This is 100% acrylic. It's Varsity Yellow, and it recommends a 5mm crochet hook. So let's try this one out. And here's how my finished swatch looks with the Big Twist from Joann's. And the yarn was very squeaky, but I have to save my grievances till the end, so I'm not going to tell you anymore. I'm just going to say it was very squeaky with my metal hook. Next is this Red Heart Super Saver. It is 100% acrylic, and it calls for a 5.5mm crochet hook. This is in the color Purple Tones. I also have to say all these yarns, the center pull came out of the yarn right away with no yarn barf, which is very important to me. So I'm going to finish up this last swatch, and then I will tell you what I think about each yarn and which one was my favorite. I finished making a swatch with all of these yarns. Now it is time for the fun part where I tell you my thoughts on each of the yarns. All right, let's start with my least favorite and then move to my favorite. So my least favorite is definitely gonna have to be Big Twist. So first, there is like a ton of pilling. I'm not sure if you can see that on the camera, but there's so much. And when I was working with it with my hook, and I just used my regular crochet hook that I will always use for my projects, which is a metal one, but there was so much squeaking. It was loud and annoying. And it also kept finding every little imperfection in my hook and just getting stuck to it. So I don't know if it just didn't like the crochet hook I was using, but when I'm crocheting, I don't like to think about that. I just like to grab my hook, my yarn, and get started without worry about changing the material of my crochet hook. So I don't like Big Twist by Joann's. Now, will I use it in projects? If I have no other yarn to use, yes, I will use it in projects. It comes in a lot of interesting colors, and I just maybe I'll give it another chance with a different kind of hook. It would just, once you have a bad experience with the yarn, it's hard to pick it back up and go, hey, I'm gonna go crochet with this again. And the second one is Red Heart Super Saver. I have to say the crochet experience with Red Heart Super Saver was pretty good for an acrylic yarn. I use Red Heart Super Saver with a lot of my projects, so I use it for a lot of like keychains and things like that, things I'm not gonna be wearing because it's a little stiff and scratchy. So if you get Red Heart Super Saver, it is a little little scratchy. Now the pill, there was like barely any pilling, which is pretty good in my book. The squeaking, there was a little bit at first, but after I got into it, it stopped squeaking. So I don't know if I was holding the yarn a weird way or my hands were a little moist or something. But after I got past the starting row, every row after that, there was no squeaking. So I'm gonna give Red Heart Super Saver 8 out of 10 stars. And I like all the interesting colors. There's so many variegated and solid colors. You could just use Red Heart Super Saver for everything. So my most favorite out of the 3 was I Love This Yarn. So overall, I Love This Yarn was everything I hoped for in an acrylic yarn. It was soft. It doesn't like pill, like barely at all, which is great. It did not squeak once. And it's just so soft and squishy. I feel like I could make like a really nice throw blanket out of this. I could make this into garments. I feel like for myself, I could use I Love This Yarn to make garments because it doesn't feel scratchy. It's just really soft and fluffy. So I'm gonna give I Love This Yarn 9 out of 10. And when I was working with it, I'm not sure if it's just this color, it did split a little bit. Like when I stuck my hook into a stitch, sometimes I wouldn't pick up the whole stitch because the yarn would split just a little. So that's why I had to take away 1 star. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you on the next one. Also, if you want to see more videos like this, just let me know what kind of videos you want to see because I'm always open to new and fresh ideas. Bye.